Hi there, I'll be your guide today through navigating the Whatagraph live reporting system, and essentially what I'm trying to prove to you guys is that you don't necessarily need to be a data scientist to be efficient at tracking your data. So let's take the first example of the day where I need a social media report. So I go in the template gallery, and on the left hand side you can see various categories, but you can also search by typing something in. So you can already see social media report exists on the system, so we just go ahead and click on it, and within a couple of seconds it will generate a report for us. And in the report you can find various types of widgets associated with a variety of metrics, a variety of channels, and those include visuals, charts, and many other things. So I think the first case was pretty straightforward, and let's go into the second one where we will be using a smart builder. That is relevant if you're looking to save your time building the report if you want to build it really quickly, but are looking for a more detailed overview. So you select the channels, in this case Facebook and Google Analytics, and I want to see social and traffic information for both these channels. And here you'll see that it starts loading the report up, and shortly we have a comprehensive overview of all the metrics that you can think of. So in a very short span of time, we are able to generate a very detailed report. The only thing left for us to do is to connect the source. So instead of sample data, I will switch it over onto one of our Whatagraph sources for both Google Analytics and Facebook ads in this instance. So once that is done, we can just go through the report and see if we need anything changed. So in a scenario where you checked out the template gallery, you've checked out the smart builder, and you still couldn't find the report you were looking for, click on blank report and let's try to create one from scratch. So the first thing I suggest doing is opening the report settings and selecting page orientation, whether that be landscape or portrait mode. Once that is done, I recommend proceeding with the customization of the report and branding. So we can go ahead and create a white label by uploading our own logo, changing things like header text, and customizing all of the other options that are available. Once the custom theme is saved, you can find it from the drop-down menu among other themes that have been created on the system, so you can easily switch between those. In this Facebook ad scenario, I want a couple of specific metrics I want to present. So you can jump into pre-made and you can search for specific things that we might already have on the system. So it's just a matter of dragging and dropping them onto the report. Like in this case, the account is very focused around link clicks. So I'm very interested to see how many link clicks it got, what the cost of each link click was, and how I want to present that to the end reader of the report, whether that be you or anyone behind the screen. I was able to find the majority of widgets I was looking for, but I need a table with countries. And as you can see in the search bar under pre-made, I could not find those. So I go into build your own, I choose a table type widget, and I go ahead and customize that. Customization works if you click on the widget itself, and then you can see various dimensions and metrics you can select. So in this case, I will go ahead and select country, as this is something I want to be tracking for this particular account. And I want to add a couple of metrics, which include CPC and frequency of how often my ads got displayed to particular individuals. So once I update this, I can already pull this information out in a matter of seconds, and if I wish, I could also equally save this widget I created as a template myself. So in this instance, I also want to customize a couple of things within the widget. Customization works if you just go ahead and click on the widget itself, and it will bring up the setup menu on the right hand side. If you jump into settings, in this instance I want to change the reporting currency from euros to dollars, as that is essentially what the end reader of the report wants to see. So you just go ahead and change that, and on top I also want to change the title and description, just to elaborate to the person reading the report what this is exactly concerning. So as you can see, I can change titles, descriptions, among many other things within the widget, and it's just as simple as clicking on close after that. So as I mentioned earlier, the account is very focused on link clicks. So in this instance, if I have a media widget and I want to arrange it differently, I can just go ahead and arrange it in a descending order by clicks rather than impressions and have it presented in that way. Immediately after, you'll see that it will actually change order. And now, once we have some type of report ready that we want to do something with, you can find the report calendar at the very top. So you can choose one of the dynamic preset date ranges from the drop-down list, or you also have the option to select the dates manually by hand. Immediately after, you'll see the report update, and each metric will be pulling the new date range that you have selected. Another important thing to note is that if you click on the widget, you also have the option to select individual calendars. So in this instance, impressions versus reach, I want to report that for a different date range than the rest of the report, and in this instance I will include year to date, which will automatically update that particular widget and it will allow me to draw certain conclusions in retrospective. Let's visit the report one more time to see if we're happy with it, and if so, we can go ahead and click on more to bring up the options that we have within the report. So some of the functionality will be self-explanatory, but let me put emphasis on a few. So first of all, saving the report as a template will allow you to save the structure and the layout to use it for later. And also, you'll have the option to share the report link with anyone behind the screen who is interested in opening this report on their own browser. And this is what the person who receives the report link will be able to see. So they cannot change the structure, they cannot change the layout of the report, but they can change the date ranges. So the amazing thing about this is that they don't necessarily have to be a user on Whatagraph to be able to receive and change this. So in order to automate the report to make sure it automatically sends, we have to go into the calendar first to set a preset rolling date range from the drop-down menu, which will dynamically update. So in this instance, let's say I want a weekly report, so I'll select last week as a automation setting, and I can compare that to a particular date range as well if I want to. Now we see the custom automation settings, so things like frequency, delivery day, time of delivery, and the time zone, they are customizable, so it's just as simple as putting the email of the recipient, clicking on automate the report, and it will start collecting data in the background shortly. From that point onwards, your reports are safe and sound and can be found in the automated section. So if you ever want to revisit the memory or change anything, click on preview and check it out once again. Thanks for sticking around, and if you happen to have any questions or any feedback, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.